storm?
Yes, it is insanely cold, insanely cold. I think the temperature right now is like -3 or something with like a feels like temperature of -37.
Disgusting.
Welcome to the Midwest.
I know. I think this storm has a name.
Elliot.
Elliot, yes.
Elliot. Winter Storm Elliot. And you always know it's going to be a doozy when they name it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought. And then I'm like, it's always a name that everybody's like, I don't like that name.
Right, exactly.
Well, I am super excited that we are doing this. This is episode 1. This is the launch. This is it. This is us.
This is the pilot. Pilot. Yes. I'm so excited about this.
We are here together. My name is Sarah. This is my girlfriend, Katie. We're going to talk just a little bit about ourselves today so you guys can get to know us a little bit better and what we're all about. And then we're going to talk about what this podcast is going to offer you and bring to your life. So we're going to jump right in. I want to talk about me. Well, I am Sarah. I am a National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer. I am also a premier nutrition coach and an online well-being coach. I have my own website. I write a wellness blog, and I sell all sorts of wellness guides, plans, and recipe guides. So I'm all about trying to help people feel their best and empower their life through health and wellness. So that's a little bit about me. We'll talk about how we can find each other maybe on social media and things like that at the end. That way, if you guys want to connect or get to know us a little bit better, you've got the opportunity to do that too. So I'm going to toss it over to Katie. She's going to tell us who she is, what she's about, and we'll get right in.
Hi, guys. So I am Katie. I am a licensed massage therapist as well as a registered yoga teacher. I'm also a facial reflexologist as well. I am a formerly National Academy of Sports Medicine certified personal trainer. I went ahead and let that go because I have so many other great things going on. I have my own office where I see clients all week long, Sunday through Friday, to get them to relax, get them to, feeling better, teach them about their bodies. So really that's my jam. Sarah does the more online stuff. I'm more in person. But we're a good little blend together, which is why I brought her on to do this podcast with me. So the UpWell is my idea of being able to share with the world my knowledge of the human body on a physical level, a mental level, spiritual level, and emotional level. My quest was to find somebody that I jived with, that I was vibing with, that was also on this journey of personal growth, of bringing things up from a lower source, which is exactly what UpWell means, is to bring forth from below. And so here we are. Episode 1, rocking and rolling. We're going to just jump right in. So Sarah, because you are going to be my partner in crime through this whole journey we're about to embark on, I want you to share with everybody what brought you on the path of personal growth and how it's impacted your life.
Yeah, I love that question. And going back before I jump right into that, going back to what Katie said about the podcast, we both had this idea. We knew that we could make a bigger impact, that we could touch more lives, and just have fun doing it. And I think what she said was so perfect. We kind of were waiting for that other half, that other side, the other component that we felt like we clicked really well with, that we could make sure that our message got across clearly and in a super fun way. So that is totally an aligned purpose of both of ours while we are creating this podcast for you guys, just to make sure that we're bringing you the very best and we're having a good time while we're doing it. So back to Katie's question, she asked me just about my own personal growth journey, and I just want to share a little bit about it and how I got started. It's been a couple years really, and I love the concept of personal growth because it can really mean so many different things to so many people. Like everyone's idea of it is a little bit different. So to me, it actually started on the health side and more specifically in the fitness world. It's been about 10 years. It's been a little bit longer maybe, but I was suffering with a lot of mindset, neurological issues, anxiety, depression, things like that are still, running rampant in our society, unfortunately. But I knew at that point in time in my early 20s that I was not about that. That was not going to be the rest of my life. And I was not going to need medication, to better myself or, feel good every day. So I kind of set out on this path of personal discovery. First, I was trying to determine why I was the way I was, why I felt the way I was, how I felt, and just really discovering ways that I could heal myself, learn a little bit more about life in general and how to quell my anxiousness or my nervous feelings, all those things that we have all probably struggled with at some time. So that kind of led me to fitness because I found movement is medicine, and it really is. And Katie can probably attest to that so much too, as she's a yoga instructor. Just moving your body and incorporating exercise and some sort of daily fitness routine can completely change the state of not only your physical, but your mental state or body as well. So I think to me, that was where it all started, was on the fitness side and just changing my health and improving my health from the inside out. So that way, once I started piecing everything together, that mental and physical aspects of your well-being are completely connected and correlated. Those things really started to fall in place for me.
So with that, I'm going to kind of ask you a little bit more about that. So with that physical side of things, how did that correlate into other realms like spirituality? Or so would you say that it affected that? Did you see a change with that? Or are you really more of like the science-based side of like just the physical work, the everything with that? Like tell me a little bit about like where you're at with that.
Yeah, I like that question because it's one of those things that once you start on this little journey, wherever that starting point is for you. So for me, it was fitness, but I really believe that the deeper you get into it, the more you kind of uncover, and it sends you in so many different directions, right? So I started exercising in hopes of improving my mental health. And that's when I started learning all these other tools and techniques that, that could improve your mental health, but they're all tied together with the physical body and your soul, your more spiritual side. So, some people can look at even a practice like journaling or meditating. Some people see it as quieting their mind or stilling their physical body, or it can be a completely spiritual experience. So I think it's cool because a lot of those techniques and practices and tools that would fall into one category or one realm really do umbrella and kind of blanket the whole human.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we're so multi-dimensional that in order to really, if you're aligned in one, the others will suffer. So it's a matter of truly getting all of the different kind of elements of who you are in alignment with one another and, working together with each level to level up, to bring it to a higher place and to a higher self. So that's amazing. That's amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that question that you just asked me because it kind of is a precursor to what I want to ask you. I want to talk about your personal growth journey and what the turning point was in your life that kind of led you down this path.
So my turning point was a little bit different. Yours was more on the physical side. Mine was 100% more on the mental side. I was working at a job that was not a good fit for me. I was in between jobs at the time and took a job just to kind of fill the spaces to figure out what I was going to do. I had a massive panic attack, massive panic attack while I was at work. Felt like I was falling, felt like I was like falling into an abyss and ended up literally falling down onto all fours. Went into tunnel vision, was seeing stars. My heart rate was unbelievable. Truly thought I had probably had a stroke. it was bad. It was a really, really bad situation. Luckily, I was able to, where I was working, I knew a person there that I knew could help me in that moment. I went into her office and she sat and she helped quiet me. She helped, she did a body scan and a meditation with me to really kind of just help me in that innate moment. But it wasn't until probably a month later that I really realized I needed more. I needed more help. And getting over the stigma of asking for help in that situation was very, very difficult. But I started seeing a counselor, and that was 12 and a half years ago. And I still see her to this day. I am a huge advocate for people seeing a counselor for any reason. It's such a great place to go to talk about yourself in an unbiased environment. However, over those 12 and a half years, the person I was then to the person I am now, they wouldn't recognize each other. I've since become a massage therapist in that time. I have, started my own business in that time. I've removed toxic people, friendships, you name it, from my life. It's been a journey of self-discovery, all based on that one moment where I felt like I was falling and falling and falling. And I did fall, and I needed to fall in order to get to where I am today. So, yeah.
I love that, because I really do think that most people have that moment. Everyone kind of has something that they remember. It might not have been as traumatic or as huge. And sometimes it's a buildup of smaller moments, that kind of lead to the realization. But once you kind of have that understanding and you can see that there is so much beauty in working on yourself, in all different facets and all different areas of your life, and watching yourself develop and grow as a person and evolve as you move through life is just amazing. So I do want to ask you also, on the flip side of that, you said you started your own business. You've been working with clients now. I can attest to you being one of the best massage therapists that I have ever known and had the pleasure of getting massaged by. But I just want to talk about your clients and your mission, and what are your main focuses or your main objectives when working directly with clients?
Well, I think because of the journey I have been on of self-discovery and personal growth, so many of my clients come to me in such an anxious or depressive or just overwhelmed state. So I like to teach them what I've learned on my journey, whether that's meditation or journaling, both things that you mentioned a little bit ago, but also movement of the body, breath work, body scans, stretching, mobility. My undergrad degree was in housing design and construction, and I did an emphasis in what was called ergonomics. So it's been really great to also teach them the physical aspect of how to design a space or create a space that their body functions in a way that they're not going to be chronically sore, or they're not going to be hurting all the time. My goal always with every single session is to have every client leave me knowing and loving their body a little bit more than they did when they walked in that door. This is our temple. So to understand it from a physical level is one thing, which I have learned. I've actually been very surprised how many people don't understand how their body works physically. It's yours. Own it. Really kind of, understand what it's doing for you. But like I said earlier, it's a leveled playing field. So I've gone through the levels of really like personal growth. And so I feel like I have like this underground like realm that I want to just take people by the hand and be like, come join me. Let me show you the way. But I also have to take a step back, because a lot of people aren't ready for that. A lot of people are really comfortable in where they're at. They're comfortable in the discomfort or the misery of where they're at, knowing that getting uncomfortable in a little bit different way would actually help them to transition into a beautiful life of, love and light and just happiness and fulfillment. So those are always my goals with my clients, is just to have them leaving me loving themselves a little bit more. That's plain and simple. Love yourself a little bit more.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly feel the same about anyone, that I come into contact with too, because life is too short and you should feel incredible about yourself. You should know yourself really well. And I love that you spoke on, people's personal growth being very personal to them. And it is hard, knowing the impact that it's had on your own life and understanding all the beautiful things that have come out of the work that you've put into pouring back into yourself, but also having that understanding that it is very personal and it's very individualistic and it has to be that person's own journey at their own pace, at their own time. So I think that's really crucial too.
And understanding too that your journey is never going to be like anybody else's. So you might be real envious or do the comparison game with so many people. I think we're all guilty of it. But it's your journey. Make it unique to you. Make it unique to your wants, your needs. I really think that is the key to truly getting to a place of self-love and self-acceptance, which is, really the goal. And that's the goal for this podcast too, is to share with the world how to love yourself a little bit more, how to level up to a place of just peace and harmony and happiness and joy. So doing that, we can help facilitate that with what we have been through ourselves. You more so on the physical side, me a little bit deeper on the mentality side or the mental side. But both of us, like I said, it's affected us on a spiritual level too, which we can talk about that in some future episodes, but it's really a journey and make it unique to you.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you just kind of tapped into some of the things that we're going to be sharing and talking about and bringing to you guys just with the intention of serving you. It's going to be our goal to talk about our experiences and bring other guests on, hopefully eventually, and talk about their personal experiences, just in hopes of helping anyone that's listening find that little light, find one more little thing that they can add to their own life, to improve or be more curious about. Things like that. I mean, honestly, when we sat down and we had this idea and we came together and started thinking about what we wanted to share and the impact that we wanted to make by doing this, it really came down to how can we help people improve? How can we help people love themselves? And how can we help people want to level up their lives? And I think that is pretty much the nail on the head. That is our sole intention and our purpose with every episode is going to be really tapping into how can we serve and how are you going to be just a little bit better after you listen.
And one other thing, in addition to what she just said, that we want to do with every episode is we want to have some fun. So with that, I have a few questions for Sarah. She has no idea what I'm about to ask her. She has zero idea what I'm about to ask her.
Oh boy.
Okay. So we are going to play a little game of Would You Rather. And so it's going to be, would you rather be? So I think I know the answer to all of these based on what I know of Sarah. And just as a little side note, Sarah and I actually had our first real conversation when she was getting a massage and I had my elbow in her butt, in her butt cheek. Like that's where our relationship started.
I remember it fondly.
So with that, over the last 2 years, because we did meet in the fall of 2020, over the last 2 years, we have gotten to know each other pretty well. And we're still learning. We're still learning about each other. But I do think I know the answers to these. However, I'm going to mark your answers down with my little highlighter here, and then we'll go back and see if I got them right. And then Perfect. I'll also give my answer too.
Oh, good idea.
So that way you can, we can kind of compare, because Sarah and I are a lot alike, but we're also very different, which is perfect harmony. So Sarah, would you rather be a specialist or a generalist?
Generalist.
Would you rather watch a sunrise, or would you rather be watching a sunrise or watching a sunset?
Sunrise.
Would you rather be a little sweet or a little spicy?
Ooh, spicy.
Would you rather be in first or last?
First.
Would you rather be preparing or enjoying?
Ooh, This is a weird one. I would rather be preparing. I am that person.
Yep. Would you rather be on a mountain or in the ocean?
On a mountain.
Would you rather be, I know the answer to this one. Would you rather be hot or cold?
Oh, hot.
Would you rather be the bull or the matador?
Oof. I like a challenge. The matador.
Would you rather be alone or together?
Alone.
Last one. Would you rather be the singer or the songwriter?
Oh, that's the hardest one. I think the songwriter.
Okay. So let's see how I did. So I picked with just specialist or generalist. I did pick generalist for you. So I did get that one right. Watching a sunrise or a sunset, I also picked a sunrise for you. If you wanted to be a little sweet or a little spicy, I actually picked sweet.
So it was a toss-up.
Yeah, I actually picked sweet. Would you rather be in first or last? I did pick first with that one. Would you rather be preparing or enjoying? I also picked preparing, so I got that one right. I actually picked the ocean over the mountain.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's funny because I love the beach, but I don't like the water. Like if I have,
okay.
Like I like the sand, but I don't love being in the water.
Okay.
So I'd rather be hiking than swimming. I guess that's how I looked at it.
Fair way to look at it. Hot or cold? I knew you would rather be hot. The bull or the matador? I actually picked the matador for you. Alone or together? I actually picked together.
That's a hard one too, because I like communing, obviously, and I love talking, but I there's something to be said about being alone.
Yeah. And then the singer or the songwriter, I did pick the songwriter. So yes.
Good.
So for me, my answers to these, I would also be the generalist. I would also watch a sunrise. I would also be spicy. I would prefer to be in last, actually. I think I kind of like you said with the matador, I like a challenge. So I like I'm an observer. I'm a listener. I'm very aware. So I kind of like just to see how things have been done. And then I'm going to go do them my own way.
This is why we're going to be so good together. Because I'm like, let's just plow forward. We don't need to see anybody else.
And then there's me. I'm like, whoa. Let's back it up, rein it in. And I observe. And I'm a quiet, I quietly just kind of watch and observe. And I would rather be in last than first in that regard. I, like you, would also rather be preparing. And I knew that one with you because of you just love your notes and everything are so great. On a mountain or in the ocean, I'm also with you on that mountain. So yeah, hot or cold? I think you know the answer for this. I'm the exact opposite of her.
Yeah.
I would rather be cold. I hate being hot. The bull or the matador, I'm also with you. I like a challenge. I'd rather be the matador.
Love it.
Alone or together? You know me. Alone.
Yep.
Alone. On that one. And the singer or the songwriter as well. I would be the songwriter. So
that's awesome.
We are a lot alike, but we also have our differences, but we correlate so good together with that. So how fun was this?
That was awesome. Thank you for doing that. That was too fun. And sometimes rapid fire I'm like sweating. That's hard you got to think really fast.
You do. You have to like be on your toes. That's why I was like rapid fire. We're going to do this rapid fire. It's such a fun little way to just learn a little bit more about each other.
Well, and I
share
think
a little bit more about ourselves.
Exactly. And I think it ties so well in with the personal development conversation that we had in the first place, because honestly, this is quite serious. If you were to ask me like rapid fire questions a couple years ago, I wouldn't be able to answer them rapid fire probably because, you have that disconnect of who you think you are, So sometimes it's hard to answer those questions if you don't know yourself really well. So I think that goes perfectly hand in hand with everything we already talked about.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right.
This was so fun. And I just have to tell you, thank you for being my partner in this. And I'm so excited. I look forward to everything that we're going to be coming out with and sharing with everyone. And hopefully expanding on all sorts of topics and growing our audience with us. And it's going to be a good time.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When I approached you with this, I know it took you a little bit to kind of, fully commit, but I'm so happy you did. I think that we are going to make a great team. Our friendship's going to deepen and grow. And I think it's just going to be amazing what we're going to be able to share with the masses. Both of our knowledge, our noggins of knowledge are just immense. And I think that this girl knows more about nutrition. Oh my God. So we're going to be able to bring a lot to the table to hopefully help a wide variety of people really level up their life.
Yeah. Awesome. Can't wait.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're really happy to have you here. So join us in our upcoming episodes.
Yep. We'll see you there.
All right. Bye.
Bye.